Hello everyone and welcome to Teachings in Education, the Inclusion Movement and Classroom. We will have a lesson discussion. I am Fritz Diaz and here we're going to cover all of the important topics related to the inclusion movement. Let's start by taking a look back at some specific benefits for special needs students. Special needs students in inclusion settings report having more positive peer interactions. Students often get to work in small groups, and the students themselves manage group activities. Special education students have improved communication skills. Effective communication is indeed to plan, organize in the real world. IEP outcomes of special needs students have reportedly been met at a higher rate in an inclusion setting. Being in the general education classroom with their non-disabled peer is better for the development of social skill and career readiness for special needs students. Lastly, placing special needs students in an inclusion setting leads to an increased level of self-esteem for the student. Special needs children often feel stigmatized when they placed in a resources room and out of district settings. Next, let's take a short look at the history of special education and how we got to the inclusion movement. Special education has come a long way back in the 1800s. There really was no place for disabled children. Most of them didn't receive any education in terms of schooling. Some parents may have paid high sums of money for private tutoring. Moving forward to the 1850s, that is the time where special needs students started finding education in isolated schools. Now these schools were near the quality of the regular education schools. Continuing, we get to the 1920s. During this time, many special needs students were in regular schools. However, they were not allowed in the same classes with regular education students. They were kept separated. 1975, with laws such as the Education for All Handicapped Students, that act was later revised to IDEA. In 1990, special needs students were given the right to have general education curriculum. And lastly, let's proceed to the co-teaching. In the inclusion classroom, special education and general education teachers work together as co-teachers. Here are some co-teaching examples. The first model here is team teaching. Instruction and planning is equally shared between both the general education and special education teachers. The next model is one teaching, one support. Here, one teacher circulates the room, usually the special education teacher, and the other handles instruction. Alternative teaching, that was the third model. Here, one teacher works with a large group and another teacher pulls out a smaller group. The fourth model is parallel teaching. Here, the classroom are split into two with each teacher covering the same content and lesson. Lastly is station teaching. Here, there are different stations for students to have activities with teachers leading various stations. And that's all. Thank you.